Okay, so now that we have made the first contact, so we've done our prospecting, step one. Step two, we've made our first contact by doing the waltz, and that prospect is about 1 or 2 feet outside their door. Okay, so we've waltzed them, all right? That means the third step is that then, right after we waltz, we've made first contact, we have to qualify the prospect. Okay, qualify the prospect. And what that means, guys, is that you cannot waste time talking to people that aren't interested. Okay, I don't want you to be wasting hours and hours and hours trying to sell people when you don't even know if they're a qualified prospect. Okay, and I'll explain what that means. So a qualified prospect, the way that you qualify somebody is, first of all, they need to be a decision maker, right? You're not going to sell them if you don't know if they're the ones that make the decision. Okay. Second, you need to figure out what bug problems they have. What are they seeing? Okay, that's super important. And with that, you need to find out, okay, are they doing it themselves or do they have a company that's coming out? And once you figure that out, then you need to understand, what are they doing themselves, or what is their company doing for them? Okay, so guys, the key with qualifying the prospect is trying to get as much information as possible in a short amount of time so that you know where to go when you're explaining the service. Okay, I think this is a key step that a lot of people mess up on. And what happens is, if they miss this, then the rest of the sales process doesn't go very smooth. Okay, if you don't qualify the prospect, you have no clue how to explain the service, what parts of the service they're going to want, what parts of the service you can point out that'll be a benefit for them and build value. You literally have nowhere to go. And so there's a lot of reps that get lost because they knock on the door, they do the waltz, and then they try to just go right into explaining the service without qualifying the prospect and understanding some information that's super important. Again, are they a decision maker? What type of bug issues are they seeing? What are they doing for that? Whether they do it themselves or they have a company. And then finally, like, what does that look like? Okay, if they're doing it themselves, what are the details of that? If they have a company, what are the details of that? So I'm going to go through, and I'm going to start off from just where I left off, and I'm going to show you some key questions that you're going to want to ask to help figure this stuff out. Okay, so I've waltzed them out. They're standing right here. I'm going to be like, so-and-so. I'm going to connect with them a little bit. I'm going to be like, yeah, super nice house. You guys lived in the area for a while? You know, we're going to chat about that for like 2 seconds, and be like, well, hey, nothing crazy. Just want to give you a heads up. We've been servicing some of the neighbors. They've been seeing a few more of the wasps and spiders. What's been the main thing for you? Easy question. Okay. We've been servicing some of the neighbors. They've just been seeing a few of the wasps and spiders. What's been the main thing for you? Okay. And you can say, they've been seeing ants and voles. What's been the main thing for you? You could say, they've been seeing a lot of spiders and wasps. What's been the main thing for you? Again, if you ask a question that way, 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose an option. They're going to be like, well, I've been seeing some spiders here and there. And you're going to be like, yeah, nothing crazy, right? Now, when you see those spiders or whatever they say, now, are you the one that takes care of it typically, or do you have a company that comes out for you? Okay, so then the next question is, so with those bugs, are you the one that takes care of it, or do you have a company that comes out for you? Do you see how you're gathering that info and knowing, okay, this is where I go next, right? So then depending on what they say, whether it's like, all right, maybe they have a company, maybe they do it themselves, then the next thing you need to find out is, what does that look like? So let's say, Susie's like, yeah, my husband just kind of sprays. So then I would be like, that's awesome. That's super. Way to be proactive. That's awesome. I'd make a joke out of it, or laugh, or connect with her a little bit more. Maybe step out, depending on the energy of the sale. But I have to figure out, okay, what is her husband doing? So I'm just going to ask her. So Susie, obviously your husband's the one that takes care of that. What have you seen him do? Like when you have these spiders, what do you see him do? And she'll probably be like, well, yeah, he goes to Home Depot, he does this, 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 and this. And I'm like, what else does he do? And I'm going to ask more questions. What else does he do? Trying to get as much information as I can about this service that her husband's doing. Because then I know where to go when I explain our service. Okay, so if you qualify the prospect in the right way, then you know exactly where to go when you're presenting the service. That's why this is super, super important.